What's up, podcast listeners?
Hello!
Andy and Drew here, your favorite podcast host. I don't know if we're your favorite, but we're our own favorite.
Yeah, we're our favorite hosts of What's Up Castleberry. Nobody hosts What's Up Castleberry as well as we do.
That's right. That's exactly right. And guess what? Celebration! We've reached milestone.
Producer Robin has given us a slow clap.
She is. This is normal. Producer Robin rolls her eyes. We laugh at our own jokes. It just is what it is. We're at episode 21. We're officially adults.
Coming of age
In the What's Up Castleberry podcast. If you are a first-time listener, or if you've been a part of us from the beginning, or somewhere in between, welcome back. We are two pastors and citizens in Castleberry who desire to have casual conversations on this podcast every Tuesday for the good of the people of Castleberry about Castleberry-related issues. And we love to have guests and friends who are involved with Castleberry. And we have a special friend of all three of us on the podcast today, Miss Akeele Hughes. Excited to hear from Akeele in just a few minutes. Well, Andy, it has been a whirlwind to say the least in our society, in our culture, everything going on. Let's start with something positive, right? The people need good news. And your son, Jonathan, is the perfect way to launch a good news segment. Jonathan enjoyed a special occasion recently. Andy, would you tell us about it?
Yes, he had a birthday. My son, Jonathan, turned 13. So he's a teenager now, and he'll be listening. He listens on his own phone. And he doesn't say it because it's probably not cool, but he thinks it's a pretty cool thing his dad doing. At least I think he thinks that. Probably doesn't, and he'll let me know later on. Does that make sense? Sure. But I tell you what, so whenever his birthday was last week or whatever, I know the date, I just don't remember what it is. Don't think I'm a bad dad. We decided to take the day off and surprise him, and we went up and set up all kinds of fun activities throughout the day. Drew, you were a part of that.
Yeah, I had a blast.
But for me, as well as celebrating him, which was wonderful, it was just good to turn off the news and not worry about COVID and not worry about rising numbers and turn down the political rhetoric that seems all around us and just have fun as a family. And so for me, and I would encourage our listeners to do it as well, that break was so good for my mental health. And I would encourage you that in this time of crisis on so many levels, as we wrestle with this pandemic, as we wrestle with issues of systemic racism, when you can, even if just for a few minutes, take a break and just renew yourself and replenish yourself and rest a little bit, because there's lots of challenges ahead. And if we're too tired to fight them, we won't be able to get through them.
Amen. Well said, indeed. So very positive, and happy birthday, Jonathan. Welcome to teenage world. It's a jungle out there for sure. And as we said at the top, Andy, it really is a whirlwind. There's lots going on. At the time of this recording, we have noted that the state of Florida has a new report. In fact, one of our neighboring communities, Oviedo, has become a hotspot for new COVID-19 cases. At one point in time, my numbers reported that there were over 1,700 new COVID cases in our state as we have entered into phase 2 of kind of the grand reopening of the state. Andy, what do we think? What do we do? What do we say?
Well, it's very troubling, isn't it? And I think more than ever, we each have the responsibility to be wise. I heard the governor say that he doesn't foresee a picture where we close the state down again. And I can understand that for many, many reasons. But the numbers now are just as high as they were when we were on lockdown on the darkest of days. So I find myself this week being more cautious with my mask, with my sanitizer, with my distancing, those kind of things. My church and our organization have wondered, hey, do we need to pull back a little bit from some of our physical meeting that we've just kind of opened up again? And again, as we filter through these things, as we work through things, I think it's imperative that our first thought is, how can we care well for one another? How can we keep each other others safe? How can we suppress this virus and take care of each other? So it's a difficult time. The Oviedo thing is very interesting because most of the cases I understand came from a student bar just outside UCF. So maybe they're kind of skewing the numbers a little bit. But I mean, when you think, we've been out, things are open, phase 2's kicked in, people have been protesting and things like that. There's just a lot of the things that we were told not to do, we've been doing. And I hope that we can discipline ourselves to be safe and take care of ourselves and take care of others.
Yeah, well said. I actually am thinking back to, and I don't recall the episode number off the top of my head, but we had a conversation with a mental health counselor named Bree Talley a few episodes ago, and Bree was talking kind of during phase 1 or even before phase 1 about the importance of appropriate and mental health that is very, very vital, that in these times that we have, and you, listener, have someone to talk to, someone to be able to share with what you're feeling, the fears, the anxieties, the doubts that we all feel. There's no doubt about it. All of us, in some form or fashion, whether either directly or indirectly. In my case, it's having a young child at home. It's being around some elderly individuals that attend our church. There is a real sense in which I'm concerned for people's safety and care and well-being. And so, as Andy said, I think it's wise to be smart, to really put thought into trying to distance ourselves, while also, most significantly, most importantly, showing compassion, seeking to love and serve another in our community as we try to navigate this. Because guess what? We're all in this together, are we?
Yeah, I think that's so true. I mean, I found it's just been nice to pick up the phone and just dump on people, right? And I appreciate people who've let me do that to them, and I've tried to be that person for others as well. So it is a time when emotional margin in our life is really thin, and it can be very difficult. So know that you don't have to get through this alone. You're not alone. You are loved. We will get through this. But we must be wise, and we must be careful, and we must be safe.
Well said. Thank you, Andy. Let's now shift gears a little bit and take a listener question. There it is. There's the gear shifting. We need a segment called Andy's Dad Jokes. I think producer Rob, can you get on that?
Segment? We need an episode about this.
They're not ready.
And they're not ready. People aren't ready for that.
Listeners, we want to hear from you. We need to hear from you. We do this for you. And we love to hear your feedback and comments. If you have a question for Andy and I, comments, you can reach out to us. You can connect with us in a multitude of platforms. The first and most obvious way, if you are listening to us via a podcast feed on your smart device, you can go to our podcast, What's Up Castleberry, and leave a rating and review. We love 5-star reviews and ratings. That apparently is really good.
But we'll take 4-star ones too.
We'll take 4-star, sure, absolutely. That's a passing grade. But if you leave us a review, you can comment there, leave us a question on the podcast feed. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page or Instagram, both with the name What's Up Castleberry. We are very, very close to 600 followers on our Facebook page. So let's get over that hump. Invite a friend. Let them know about the best podcast in Castleberry.
And we've already created 400 new accounts, and we just can't do any more. So please help us out.
The bots are helping us get that. And you can also check out our new website. Our website is whatsupcastleberry.com. There you can interact with our partners, our sponsors. You can listen to previous episodes and learn a little bit more about Andy, myself, and our team. And so today's question...
Well, before you go there, to our previous comment about not being alone during this pandemic time, use that little Contact Us tab on the website to reach out. It'd be great if you asked a question or gave us a comment. But hey, if you're struggling, if you're hurting, if you just want someone to talk to, shoot us your number. We'll give you a call, and would love to just provide some company, some friendship, and a listening ear during this time.
Producer Robin is excited to answer all of your listener question.
I'll take the shift between like 9 and 5. Drew, you're up with a baby, so you can take the early hour shift,
Sure.
and we'll wrap
There you
up.
go.
We'll get the day covered. So.
Well, listeners, we enjoy all of your questions, and this one in particular was fun for me. It's a little more lighthearted, maybe getting to know Andy and I a bit. The question is this: what's your favorite musical artist, Andy? So, past, present, I guess not future. You don't know what's happening in the future, but past or present musical artist.
5 years from now, I'm gonna like.
And what is the best? What's a memorable concert or the best concert you've ever been to?
So let me kind of flip that question a little bit,
Okay.
and
Because I'm ready with mine.
all right.
Go ahead, set it up.
My question is, if you are answering that question on my behalf, what or who would you think is my favorite artist or music genre?
I would say maybe some 80s pop. I'm thinking like,
80s
I picture like Wham. I mean,
Wham!
Are you a fan of Wham?
You know, that's so funny. You nailed it. You nailed it. Yeah, when I was in England, why is Robin laughing so much? When I was in England last night, last night.
Last night, wow.
Sorry.
A little jet lag.
I'm laughing at Robin's reaction. Last year, I bought a couple of CD sets of 80s pop music and soft rock ballads.
Okay.
Right? You know, and I like Christian music. I like a lot of hymns and stuff like that. But I'm a soft rock guy. And in my teenage years, it was... Robin, why are you laughing at this? In my teenage years, all these soft rock ballads and emotive songs really helped me get in touch, I think, with a caring side of me that I try to live out now. So
Pursuit
yeah.
of a girlfriend too, having a nice rock ballad. Or
Oh
love
man,
song
I remember in high school I was dating this girl and we were dating for like 2 days, and she broke up with me, and I went home and you guys are too. Is this therapy? Why are you laughing, Robin? I put the cassette tape on and I listened to Tiffany's. What was it called?
I think we're alone now.
Breakfast at Tiffany's?
No. It was a thing
We're
where.
alone now.
Yeah, that was when we were dating, but when we broke up. Oh, could have been. Do you remember that song? Was it Tiffany? No, I don't remember. Anyway, it was. I just. I'll stop talking. But I was really into soft rock.
Okay.
And so a lot of my early musical influences came from that genre. And I'll stop talking
Did
now.
anybody interesting come to your town? Or
Please, would you stop talking about that? Did anyone? No, we lived in a pretty small town.
Okay.
I remember the first concert I went to was Phil Collins, who was part of that soft rock genre.
Can you feel the love tonight? There you go.
I could when I was.
Is he Phil Collins? I don't know.
Can you feel?
Yeah.
That's Elton John, gentlemen.
Oh,
And that
fail.
was not in that time.
Didn't Elton John and Phil Collins do a song
We need to
together?
get producer Robin a mic for the record.
We do. Yeah, but our big Genesis too.
Okay. Well, for me, as you can imagine, I'm from a smaller, kind of more rural town, so
Elton John.
country music was a part of my upbringing, and Christian music, country music, some rock. And I went to University of Florida. and
Also,
so-
Crocodile Rock.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the second Elton John reference of and get my crocodiles and my gators messed up.
But as a Gainesville native for a few years, Tom Petty, who is also a Gainesville native, is my favorite artist. I have a few of his albums, including some of his records. I've gone back and started a collection of Tom Petty vinyl records. I really like Wildflowers, Live Like a Refugee, Won't Back Down, some others. But the very best concert that I have ever attended was about 2 years ago. I went with my wife and my mom and dad. I think it was like an anniversary gift. And we went, ironically, to Gainesville, to the football stadium, the Swamp. And before a sold-out crowd, Garth Brooks, the famous country singer who doesn't do a lot of shows anymore, he performed, and there was about 70,000 folks or so that listened. And I will tell you, it was the first of, I've been to many concerts. It was the first concert where I literally could sing the words to every single song. And that was just so much fun. It felt like I was in, the car on a road trip, just singing along to every song.
That's awesome. Didn't Garth Brooks recently do what was it called? The dive the tour
Oh yeah,
or
he
something
went to
like
the
that?
barn in
Sanford.
He
Yeah.
did. Uh-huh.
Maybe couple hundred people there, and he was going around. I think it was called the dives. So he was going to little dives around.
My
around
wife
the country.
actually attended that night.
Did she really?
She was there. Yeah, I did not get the invite, but she went with a couple of girlfriends. So there you go. Hopefully that was engaging to you. If you're a younger listener, there's several band names.
If you're a younger listener, we'll explain who Elton John is to you.
And we'll explain what cassettes are another time. Well, thank you, listeners, and we hope you have enjoyed that question. We want to hear from you again. Let's now take a word from our sponsor, which continues to be Kelly Financial Solutions. Kelly Financial Solutions is in the business of mortgages. They are about acquiring great rates. Right now is an amazing time if you are looking for a home, whether a first-time home buyer or purchasing a new home and need a mortgage. Travis Kelly and Kelly Financial Solutions is your person to contact. Travis was a recent guest on this podcast, and he shared very candidly about his heart for the city of Castleberry. He's been a resident here, he and his now fiance, for over 15 years. That was my phone. I apologize.
Was that Travis?
That was not Travis, okay. But maybe it was. Who knows? But Travis and his team are about serving and caring for your mortgage needs. You can contact and connect with Travis via phone at 407-618-1176 or go to his website, wearecleartoclose.com. That's wearecleartoclose.com. Travis, thank you for being a sponsor of our podcast. We'll be back with Akeele Hughes in just a moment.
All right, welcome back, listeners. We are thrilled to have a very special guest with us today. Her name is Akeele Hughes, manager at Wawa, creator of a podcast, community service liaison leader at her church, rollerblader.
Period.
Skater.
Is it blader or skater?
Skater.
Very cool. Well, Akeele, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, maybe briefly about your upbringing, how you ended up in Castleberry, and your involvement with your church, Divine Truth Christian Center.
Well, you guys make it sound like I do a lot. But
You do?
I really don't feel like, you know how it's like on the outside people think, but on the inside you're like, am I really that great, guys?
Well, I think if you sleep 10 hours a night, then you must be
It was
working
one
really
time.
hard on the other hours.
That's right.
But how did I find myself in Castleberry?
Yeah, just tell us about who you are. And
Well, my name is Akeele. I am a kingdom's kid. I'm God's girl, period. And I actually am from Michigan.
Oh.
So yeah, fun fact.
I didn't know that. Whereabouts?
Grand Rapids.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, but I also lived in Detroit for quite my childhood.
You know, the first time I came to America when I was 12, I went to Detroit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you enjoy yourself?
We had a lovely time. Thank you.
I moved to Florida when I was 14, so Florida is my home. You know, like this is home.
Yeah.
And,
you seem like a Florida girl.
Do I?
Vibe,
What does a Florida girl seem like?
Just relaxed and go with the flow and fun and energetic. Yeah.
Living my best life.
Yeah.
What's
No, I'm laughing at Drew trying to describe a Florida girl without getting himself in trouble. You married one, though.
I did. I married one. Yeah.
She seems like a lot of fun.
She is. And easygoing, lovely. I'll go on and on about my wife, but not right now. Let's go talk about you. So you've been in Florida since you were 14.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So
and you
11
went
years.
to UCF?
I did.
All right.
Well, actually, I went to Seminole State first, so I like to claim my Seminole State status.
Go far.
Yes, go state, go far.
Go state, go far.
I was SGA president, so
Wow.
you know, that's great. And then I went to UCF right after. I majored in political science, which a lot of people don't know. So I studied politics, which is probably why I don't like politics. I minored in sociology, so diversity and social inequality. And I got my certificate in nonprofit management.
Okay.
So when I tell you I was made for what I do, God literally has been grooming me for this since I was a child, to serve in my community, to lead his people. That's my calling.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And community service liaison is not necessarily a position that folks from maybe a more traditional sense of church would identify as a role, but that's a very significant role.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what that looks like at your church?
Well, my primary role at my church as a community service liaison is to be the connector, the connection between my community and my church. So really to always know what's going on and how we can make our community better, and just filling in those needs where I see fit. So I love it.
So let me lean into both your education in political science and the racial injustice issues, and your experience there as well. We know that Divine Truth Christian Center is a predominantly Black church, and we're obviously living in a day where the world continues to rally against racism, and where a lot of folks are fighting against injustice, and we seek to move forwards towards reconciliation. What are some of your perspectives about what's happening in the world right now with the injustices and the conversations that are starting? That's a big question. I realize that. You got 30 seconds. I'm just kidding.
Well, I think that a lot of people are perceiving this to be something that's like new, or something that's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was happening. But this is the same alarm that we keep hitting snooze on. It's been here for 400 years, dating back to my ancestors. So I would say that I'm proud of this generation, because as a millennial, I think we get a lot of flack about being, oh, you guys don't care about anything, you guys are rebels, but we're the ones that's out there fighting to make a difference. It's us, and it's Generation Z. So I'm really proud of us all banding together for something that we equally agree is important. So I was able to go to one protest. I went on June 2nd. And it was a really interesting experience. I had to take a day off from work. I needed a mental health day to kind of grasp my thoughts and really process everything that I've seen. But there's parts that I'm proud of, and then there's parts that I'm not proud of when it comes to our current movement. Yeah,
I love your phrase that we keep hitting the snooze button on this problem. And even though there is much pain now, and there has been much pain in the past, I'm a little bit excited that we may be ready to wake up, right, and turn the alarm off and start living in a more reconciled, unified, equal world. So I affirm what you're saying. This is a long, long time problem, but maybe it feels like something's different about this time.
It does feel different.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
It feels like we're actually tired enough to do something about it. And I say that specifically in regards to like the Black community, because we've had so many hashtags, and I think we're finally getting to the point where it's like, this is exhausting.
Yeah.
We have to do something about this. We can't keep living this and keep waiting for the next generation to fix it.
Yeah.
I don't want my children to grow up in this world where someone else's child is taught to hate them.
Yeah, absolutely.
The vision that I sort of have, and Andy's talked about this on previous podcasts, is, and you are living this out, the idea of building a bridge, right? Building bridges across different people who have different backgrounds, various walks of life, and kind of coming together. And I mean, literally, your title at your church, Community Service Liaison, serves as a bridge between the faith community and the community at large. Could you maybe share both maybe an event recently or past event that you're proud of, and then maybe something that you are looking forward to in terms of taking practical like action steps? Because I love what you said. You said we're tired. We need to stand and move. What's that been looking like in your church and just you personally?
Well, I would think as a past event, I'm really proud of our Let's Talk Friday events. They're amazing. And essentially, we do Let's Talk Friday once a year, typically Black History Month, and we talk about a different issue that needs to be addressed.
You do it on a Friday?
Yes.
There you go.
And what I love about it is that I'm able to bring different individuals from different backgrounds and people that don't look alike, and then we all get together and we talk about this issue. And then it allows other people to say, well, maybe I'm not well versed on this, so maybe I should come so that I am. It opens up that dialogue, because oftentimes some people are really scared to say, listen, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Like, can you help me? And they feel unsafe because, we have social media, and then you say one thing, and then it's like, cancel culture.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not the solution either. So to create a safe space for everyone to come and talk and learn from each other, that's just so awesome to me.
That is so refreshing. That's such a needed thing. Not to give too much away, but we actually already recorded next week's podcast with Pastor Andre.
Oh, okay.
And one of the things he completely emulated on that was the idea of talking, and particularly in person, right? Not using social media. That can be the initial kind of talking point, but to move towards each other and have those in-person conversations. So thank you for helping facilitate those conversations.
Doing the good Lord's work.
And I think those conversations need to happen. It's absolutely vital. I'm actually speaking on Sunday. Well, I don't want to give you my sermon. I'm sure you'll both listen to it later on too. But just how important conversations were, right, in any kind of reconciliation between different cultures and languages, and the whole thing. But as a white guy who wants to enter into conversation, I know that I need to be the one who's listening and trying to understand first, right? I think part of the problem is that people like me have tried to have conversations on our terms, and hasn't worked. A lot of ego in that, a lot of pride in that, a lot of sin in that. Yeah. So I want to come to the conversation table seeking to listen and to understand, and to hear what it's like to be discriminated against, and to understand maybe some of the privileges that have been given to me. Let me listen right now. Help me understand right now. What are some of the challenges that you've experienced being a millennial Black woman?
I think if I had to pinpoint, the biggest experience right now would be my leadership role at Wawa. Okay. Because I am on the management team. Well, I like to say the leadership team. I don't like to use the word manager. It makes me uncomfortable.
Totally trash.
I'm on the leadership team at Wawa, but I'm the only Black girl. I'm the only Black woman associate. I think there's 3 of us that works at our store, but I'm the main Monday through Friday. It's Akeele. So I constantly feel this pressure to represent every Black person. There's this phrase being the only Black person, the only Black girl, the only Black guy. I grew up in some schools where I was the only Black kid. So having that pressure of knowing that I represent every other Black person that you're going to come encounter with, whether you subconsciously know it or not, you look to that Black person in your life to be that representation.
Right.
And that is really exhausting.
Yeah.
It's very tiring. So that's probably my biggest challenge that I face right now. And then trying to get other people to understand my perspective. Oh my gosh, because people... I have a great boss. He is amazing. His name is Ben. He's also white. And he was asking me the other day, like, Akeele, like, how do I explain this to people? I want my children to understand. And I told him, Ben, when you're asking a person of color about their experience, don't share your experience to be like, well, when I was with this cop, that didn't happen to me. It's like you're trying to devalue what I'm telling you, and you're not listening to me. So trying to get other people to understand where I'm coming from, and they just have this blinder on, it's just like, I'm not even gonna give you my energy. Yeah.
So you would affirm that perhaps one of the best things that we can all do with one another in these conversations is just humbly listen.
Yes, literally listen. So then when you're in a situation, when you hear something that maybe does not sound right, you have the proper information to be able to educate someone else, and then it's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Right. And practically, as I'm processing this as you're sharing, one of the ways in which to do that is to move towards someone who of color, or someone who is unlike you, and that goes both ways. That to make general assumptions about people based on what you hear in the media or read or past history doesn't indicate the future of where we're going as a community. So I really appreciate you advocating for people of color, but at the same time, totally understand, or don't understand, but empathize for you. That would be exhausting to kind of carry that load.
Yeah, there's a black gentleman who works with me at my church on our staff. I love him to death, and as we've been having these conversations about, what's my posture, what do you need to do in this time, as the white guy, we've been saying, need to understand, to listen, to learn, to reflect, to repent, to lament, those kind of things. I said, what about you? What's this season doing in you? And I was expecting him to say, well, we need to, we need to change policy and do all this stuff. And he just said, I need to grieve. I need to grieve. And I just thought there was real wisdom in that he'd been hurt. We know things need to change. But unless we grieve the loss and the pain and the weight of 400 years and 25 years and all that kind of stuff, maybe we're not going to move forward well. So in our church, saying to the white folks, stop, be quiet, listen.
And can I ask Akeele, can I add, based on what you said about stopping and grieving from your coworker, what would that do for you? I mean, you can't speak for every person, but for yourself, if there really is a posture from white men and women to say, look, I'm genuinely sorry and I want to repent of the ways I've been chosen to be ignorant or whatever. What is that stir in you, or
what is grieving stir in me? Or
what is,
I've had people apologize to me and it's so uncomfortable.
So just an unprompted apology, probably not the way to go about it.
So it's okay, like you
sure.
But I agree a lot with what he said about grieving, and for me it's definitely crying. Like with Ahmaud Arbery, that just hit something so different. And then 2 weeks later, we have George Floyd, and we have Breonna Taylor, and it's just like, it feels never ending, essentially. And then after the protest, like I said, I really needed to just take a mental health day because I'm really keen on mental health. And it just looked like I do cry. I cry for my Black brothers. I cry that I'm even able to pick up the phone and text my best friend and be like, let's go hang out, because it's such, other people die. And then their loved ones, they don't get to do that. And then I cry for their families. Oh my gosh, their moms, even listen to Breonna Taylor's story. Her mom waited in the hospital for 4 hours thinking that her daughter was in there. And she was dead this whole time. Like, those are situations that are just, it's a different type of pain, But yeah, I cry.
Yeah, and we need to grieve as a society. There's a lot we need to fix, a lot we need to change. But we don't want to bring this hurt into the future.
Yes.
And so we grieve, and we need to repent, right? And we feel the weight of that pain, and we work through it so that we can move forward in a healthy way together.
And speaking of moving forward, you and I had a conversation recently, Akeele. Tell the listeners briefly about the new project that you've started on your own, and not on your own, with a team. And something you're excited about.
I'm very excited. So it's going to be called United We Stand, and it's basically what comes after the protest, because we know chanting "no justice, no peace" only gets us so far. Like, it's great, but we have to think about what's going to come after. So this organization is essentially going to be a safe space for the Black community and our allies to come together and strategize about what we can do to shift our community into changing through talking, and different speakers are going to be coming in, and we'll do different events and things like that. So
I love that. And I love that you're thinking long term as well, right? We do a disservice to everybody, who's living now and who has gone before us if all this is a noisy protest, right? This is a long-term journey, strategy, conversation that starts now, but it doesn't end now.
It doesn't.
Yeah, well, Akeele, believe it or not, we have kind of come to the end of our time. I want to thank you first and foremost for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
We really want people to engage in these conversations more. And we know as podcast hosts ourselves that this conversation can, and other similar conversations can happen. You are a podcast host yourself. So would you share with the listeners how they can check out your podcast?
Yes. So my podcast is called A Moment with A. I'm
A woman with A.
A moment with
it.
A. Yes. So it's basically the podcast is dedicated to elevating the dialogue on the topics that affect the lives of millennials. And you can find me on, well, my favorite is Spotify because I'm biased. I like Spotify.
Okay. We do too. We like
Spotify.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all the other podcast apps. But I typically record every week and release every week.
Okay. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's hard work. We know that's hard work.
You guys did too.
So as well as the podcast, we'd encourage folks to go there. We'll put it in our little show notes to where you can find that. But how else can people connect with you, find you, social media, those kind of things?
You can connect with me on Instagram at A Moment with A. I'm also on Twitter _Akeele. And those are the two apps that I use the most. So,
perfect.
Yes, easy
TikTok?
peasy. I don't do that.
No, me neither. Drew does.
Do you really? Oh yeah, you do.
He does.
My wife does. I do not.
You
I've been in it.
participate.
I've been in it.
In fact, he's breaking into one of his dances right now, isn't he, Akeele? Man, if only this was a video podcast.
Oh, you guys are funny.
No, but Akeele, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for providing some humor on podcast, but thank you as well for taking us to some deep waters and speaking into our lives about who we all need to become as we move forward together. We appreciate you. We love you. We're grateful for you.
And we're going to have you on for an inspirational moment in a minute.
Awesome.
Yes. Wow. We must be paying her a whole lot of money for that. All right, but Akeele, thank you.
All right. That was an amazing conversation with Akeele. Thank you so much for
Do you
your
think
time.
so?
I do, in fact. It was fantastic.
I'm only saying that because she's right here with us now.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Akeele.
This is the first time a guest has stayed for the wrap-up, right?
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
what an honor. Look at God.
Be prepared to be inspired, Akeele. Andy has an inspirational quote for you and our listeners. So here it is, Andy. No pressure.
She's on the edge of her seat.
I am. I'm ready.
I'm sure our listeners are as well. Our quote today comes from Winnie the Pooh. I know you're excited, aren't you?
Very.
This is what Winnie the Pooh, penned by A.A. Milne, said: "You are braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think."
That's awesome.
You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. That is true of you, Akeele. Drew, it's true of you. And dear listener, that is true for you as well.
Very good. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the What's Up Castleberry podcast. This may be our last episode. I don't know. We are about having casual conversations about our community. This podcast is produced by Minnie with the gracious help of producer Robin Kepi, James Bittner, music provided by Jeremy Birdsall, graphics by Christian Moscoso. For more information, please check out our website, whatsupcastleberry.com, our Facebook page, Instagram, or podcast feed, all with the name What's Up Castleberry. Please like, subscribe, rate, review, do all of the things. And until next time, have a great week.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Akeele, say goodbye.
Bye.